All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, MakaKwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe. And the elect begins with the 144,000. Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jehovah. BAHASHAM is in the name. YAHAWASHI, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. The Rakakwa doctrine shares the Holy Spirit. I'm the brother Iwalumia with the Jam at Chicago camp out here in Chicago. Come back at you with another lesson. And Lord willing, I hope this lesson be edifying to the whole for righteous elect, the ones of the household of faith. Lord willing, once again, I hope this lesson is edifying. Just a response video to the brother Elder Karatazar, the Elder Karatazar out in Vegas. And this channel, GMS Vegas Sit Downs 144. The elder, beloved Elder Malcolm, out here in Chicago, told us to do a response lesson to it. This video is really telling, man, who the devil truly is, man. Starting with Amalek, the ones that's calling themselves, the Jewish people that's over there in the land of Israel today, calling themselves, the children of the Most High. They truly are the devil, man, starting with Amalek, man. These so-called white people. But I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna just jump straight into it.
School field trip showed up, and these children, they're teenagers. They came from 2 hours away to come and watch the genocide. And the first rush of boys to the top of the hill to that observation platform, when they caught sight of Gaza, when they caught sight of the genocide, they pumped their fists and they gave the middle finger to it, and they were very, very excited. And so the idea that there weren't just Israeli citizens who were looking at this, gawking at it, but school children have been brought on a field trip from 2 hours away to come and watch the genocide is just an aspect of what's occurring here that my visceral reaction to it is one that I'm really troubled by and having a hard time to process.
Tourists and school children are going on field trips in Israel, but not to museums, instead to watch the destruction of Gaza, known as resilience tourism in Israel, but as genocide tourism internationally.
So we were a mile and a half or so from 300,000 people who were being forcibly starved to death by the Israelis.
That was Matthew Ho, a former U.S. State Department official and U.S. Marine veteran, who recently took this tour in Sderot, where visitors use coin-operated binoculars to peek into Gaza.
An Israeli school field trip showed up, and these children, they're teenagers, they came from 2 hours away to come and watch the genocide.
The tours are also done in English for international visitors and are included in Birthright Israel trips for Jewish Americans and for all Israeli school children.
The population sees it as entertainment, where you have this complete dismissal of the Palestinians as...
Right, this is the true nature of Esau, man. Starting with Amalek, hey, and fuck Ishmael, which are the so-called Arabs, but hey, right is right and wrong is wrong. What those Amalekites is doing to Ishmael over there, man, bombing hospitals, bombing, definitely bombing, different things that over there where Ishmael is, over there in Gaza, Amalek is completely bullying Ishmael, killing children, things of that nature, killing families. This is Amalek, and you see, right here how it says, ultimately what the small hats, they basically gathered, the kids basically gathered what they planned a field trip to go see the destruction. And this is the true nature of Esau Edom, man, the so-called white man, But I'm gonna play a little bit more. I'm gonna just jump straight into it.
Human beings, but part of their school curriculum.
And it doesn't just stop at the observation platforms. Reportedly, boat tours have been organized to view the destruction of Gaza, sparking outrage worldwide.
3 times, my classmate.
And I'm gonna just end it off right there. If you wanna watch the rest of the video, the elder brother Karatazar, GMS Vegas Sit Downs 144 is his channel. Watch the rest of this video. It really shows you the hate, the hatred, and basically the Amalek, basically what Esau's true nature, of what he's doing, to the whole world, starting with our people, man, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But I'm gonna just jump straight into it, man. This is the book of Job 9-24. Job 9-24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right? It says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. You know what? We know, that the small hats control the whole world. And who are the small hats, man? The so-called white man. Amalek being, the chief tribe, of Esau Edom, the top tribe of Esau Edom. He controls the whole world. He controls the media. He controls everything of that nature, man. He controls the government. Amalek's hand is, far, deep into the governments. They control different countries, governments, as I mentioned. It says, I'm going to read this again. Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right? The so-called white man, starting with Amalek. If he's not the devil, who is it then? Because he's the ones that has all this technology basically causing mayhem and havoc, throughout the four corners of the world, man. Over here in America, over there in the so-called Middle East, which is Asia, everywhere this devil goes, Malachi, let me grab that Malachi real quick. Everywhere this devil goes, man, he causes problems with every nation under the sun, man. But this is the book of Malachi 1:4. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we return and build the desolate places, right? Because ultimately, when Esau went down, when Jake got into power, when Esau went down, when the Roman Empire went down, Jake was ruling for 1,000 years during the Dark Ages. But ultimately, Esau Edom got back into power. What's that? A period called what? The Renaissance, period, which means rebirth. When Esau began to get his power back, it says, thus saith Yahawah of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, right? Because everywhere this devil goes, he causes mayhem, he causes havoc. He causes what? Nations to be destroyed, by his technology. He spreads his witchcraft, his democracy. It says, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. And we ultimately know Esau's end, man. He's going to be cut off, by slaughter. His whole line is going to be eradicated, man, after he served his 1,000 years of captivity, man, for what he has done. Starting off with our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the Israelites. But what he has done to the whole world, man, he's bullying the whole world. He's destroying the whole world. Because what does Malachi say? Well, Salakia, Micah. Let me grab that real quick. This is the book of Micah. Because this is what this devil has always been doing. In that video, if you watch the whole 10 minutes plus, it basically, shows you the true nature of Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Micah 2:1, it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning gets light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands, right? Because we know that these elites behind the scene, is basically applying different things, to ultimately to keep our people down. But ultimately, to push forward their wicked works and agendas. It says, verse 2, it says, and they cover fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house and even a man in his heritage. Right? Esau Edom has been doing that to the Israelites for the longest, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. This devil has been oppressing our people for a long time. When it says they cover fields and take them by violence, Esau Edom does that to does that to everybody, man. He sees the land, that's full of natural resources that these different nations have. And ultimately, what? He comes in and brings democracy. And ultimately, what comes after? The sword. He basically brings that death and destruction. Killing the nation, killing these different, nations to ultimately take their resources. Ultimately, to bring them democracy. That's how ultimately Esau Edom has always operated, man. By what? By death and destruction, taking of these natural resources from these different lands, man. The minute or two I played of that clip, how ultimately those Amalekites took a field trip to basically see the destruction of Gaza. That land don't belong to either Esau or Ishmael, the Edomites or the Ishmaelites. All that is our land, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But I'm gonna read this again. Micah 2:2 says, they cover fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house and even a man in his heritage, right? And ultimately they're proclaiming to be us. They're proclaiming to be the children of YAHAWASHI, man. Ultimately took our land, took our heritage. This is what this devil has always, was known to do, man. You know, cover fields and take them by violence, because Genesis 27, let's get that. Let's see, Yep, Genesis 27 and 39. It says, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. Right, so, you know, basically what? These different lands and things like that. But how ultimately does Esau Edom get these different lands, you know, into his possession? Verse 40 says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Right, it says, by thy sword, it says, and by thy sword shalt thou live. And right, these Edomites live by the sword. And what is their sword? Their technology, you know, their missiles, you know, different things of that nature. Because Revelation 6, I'm going to come back to that Genesis 27. Because this Revelation 6 backs up that Genesis 27. What's that, Revelation 6 and 4? Revelation 6 and 4 says, there went out another horse that was red. Right, talking about Esau Edom. You know, because what? Because if you go back to Genesis 25, it says what? You know, the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, talking about Esau. It says, Revelation 6 and 4, says, there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. Right. Esau Edom takes peace from the earth, man. You know, when the Greeks came into power, they had to follow the Romans. You know, here in America today, what? They all took peace, you know, away from the earth, man. You know, every time Esau was in power, peace was always taken from the earth. And how was that? It says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they shall kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Right, going back to Genesis the 27th chapter, man. How ultimately, you know, Isaac, you know, ultimately the Lord, you know, gave him that blessing. You know, as it says in Genesis 27, by thy sword shalt thou live. You know, Esau Edom has this technology, his missiles, his tanks, you know, his fighter jets. You know, that's how ultimately he takes over these different lands, man. You know, about rape, robbery, and murders. I read that Micah 2. It says what? He covered fields and take them by violence. You know? And what? This is all Esau Edom knows, man. He's the wicked. You know? But let's go back to that Genesis 27 to finish it out. Genesis 27 and 39, start back at the top. It said, Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live. Right, I read that Revelation 6. I mean, you know what? Ultimately, you know, talking about that great sword. You know, Esau Edom was blessed with the sword. It says, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau, that was pretty much the point. Ultimately, you know, Esau being blessed with a sword, man. That's how ultimately he bullies, you know, these other nations and take over their lands and what? Take the natural resources and things of that nature, man. This basically shows you who the devil is, man. You know, because no other nation is doing that. Only Esau Edom, man, you know, covering these different lands, taking them by violence, you know, moving the people, you know, out the land, you know, out their homeland. Just look at here in America, man. What happened to the so-called North American Indians? You know, the tribe of Gad, the tribe of Reuben. And, you know, you had other, you know, northern tribes that were over here, man. What did Esau Edom do? You know, he raped, robbed, and murdered, you know. But ultimately, we know that what? Let's get that Job 20. You know, it's not going to be for much longer, man. Because ultimately, what? He was only, you know, as Revelations was that 20 and 3 says, he shall be loosed a little season, man. You know, this was not what was not supposed to be forever, man. You know, Esau Edom is, you know, have his, you know, as they say in the world, you know, have your 10 seconds of fame, have your 1 minute of fame, and what? You're out of there. But this is the book of Job 20 and 5 says that the triumphing, I'm going to start at 4. Hey, because Esau Edom is, you know, after so long, man, he's not going to, you know, go around, you know, rape, robbery, and murder these different lands, man. The Lord is going to take this devil down. Job 20 and 4 says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of a hypocrite but for a moment. Who is the wicked, according to the Bible? You know, hey, Esau Edom. You know, I read that Malachi 1 and 4. He says they shall call him the border of wickedness. Everywhere this devil goes, he spreads his wickedness, his rape, robbery, and murder. You know, that's how ultimately he get these different lands. But it says what? That the triumphing of the wicked is short, man. Esau Edom, you know, he's ultimately going to be brought down by YAHAWASHI. It says, verse 6, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, right? Talking about his pride, you know. Obadiah 1, the first few verses talks about, you know, this devil's pride. It says, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. It says, the eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. Right? Meaning what? He's going to be brought down. You know, he's going to be brought down from his high seat, man. He's going to be brought low. Because Isaiah 14, let's get that Isaiah 14 real quick. Because the rape, robbery, and murder that Esau Edom is doing right now, man, hey, he's going to have, you know, he's going to be accounted for all that, man. You know, the Lord is, you know, all the rape, robbery, and murder this devil is doing, the Lord is taking account of that, man. This is the book of Isaiah 14 and 12. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Right. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven? Because ultimately the Lord is going to remove him from his high seat. The Lord is going to take this devil out of power. And who's in power? Who's the, you know, the chief tribe that's in power right now? Amalek. You know, who are the Edomites? You know, these elites, you know, a lot of them are small heads, man. It says, verse 12, it says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? How did Esau Edom, you know, ultimately weaken the nations? You know, what? Spreading his democracy, you know, rape, robbery, and murder, you know, these different nations, you know. Verse 13, you know, his democracy, his philosophies. Verse 13, it says, for thou hast said in thine heart, which is the mind, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahawah. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Right. You know, over here in America, man, you know, because ultimately in the scriptures, it even talks about, you know, who shall, I was actually going to get into it. It says, verse 14, it says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, right? This devil want to be like the Most High, man. That's what essentially what his NWO agenda is about, man. Ultimately what? You know, micro C-hipping the whole world, proclaiming himself, you know, as the Most High, you know. This is what this devil is doing. That's why this devil is so damn proudful, you know, thinking he can go into these different lands, you know, rape, rob, and murder the people there. And what? You know, basically come out unscathed, man. But hey, the times that we're coming in, hey, the Lord is exposing this devil, and the Lord is bringing this devil down piece by piece. And it says, verse 15, it says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit, meaning what? He's going to be brought low. It says, verse 16, these were the 2 points I wanted to jump into. Verse 16 says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Right, because everybody is coming to the conclusion that what? That the so-called white man is the devil, man. You know, all the rape, robbery, and murder that this devil is doing, you know, to the whole world, everybody's going to come to the conclusion that he's the problem, man. And what? Ultimately what? That he's going to be dealt with. YAHAWASHI is going to deal with this devil, man. The Lord is going to take this devil out of power. It says, is this is the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms. How did Esau Edom do that, man? You know what? His technology. You know, ultimately him dropping, you know, the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, man. You know, putting the whole world on notice. You know, this devil's technology, how he, you know, rape, robs, and murders these different lands, man. You know, by his technology, his missiles, his tanks, his fighter jets. You know, that's how he ultimately, shook these kingdoms, man. Verse 17, it says, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. That's what this devil has done, man. Everywhere this devil goes, he what? Rape, robs, and murders. You know? Let's actually get this. This is actually a precept I didn't have listed up. Actually, I'm going to close out with this one. This is the book of Revelations 11 and 18. It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and at the time of the dead that they shall be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And who has the power to destroy the earth that's doing all this, man? Hey, Job 9 and 24, I opened it up with the lesson with it. Job 9 and 24, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. You know, that's ultimately what Esau Edom has done, man. The earth is given into his hands, man. So what? He has the power to what? To go to these different lands, rape, rob, and murder the inhabitants of those lands, and what? Ultimately get off scot-free. You know, you have the power to pollute the lands. You know, spread his philosophy. You know, poison the food, poison the air. This devil has the power to do that. You know, destroy. You know, and get off scot-free. But it says what? And it says destroy them which destroy the earth. That's what YAHAWASHI is coming back, you know, to do, man. To take this devil out of power. And ultimately what? To ultimately bring order back into the earth, man. Because what this devil has done to the whole world, starting with our people, man, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, he has to pay for all of that, man. What he's doing to these other heathen nations, man, he has to pay for all of that, you know? But it's just something I wanted to jump into, man. You know, Lord, I hope this lesson was edifying, so I want to end off right there. So I'm going to end it off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstone that taught us this truth. And citations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe. Lord, I hope this lesson was edifying. Till next time, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom, and the Bible Ball.